Hey ho, here we go. It's another Thursday night. We're back for another episode of I Know Sports. He's a clown. I'm your host, Matt, joined by my co host, Gav, for another fun episode. Gav, I normally ask you how was your week in sports, but I'm just going to come right to it. It was the first of the final two rounds of European World Cup qualifiers, and the boys in Green Ireland were in the Czech Republic to play Czechia. How was that one for you, Gav?
Not good. Not good. I've seen a great thing. I've seen a great thing though. So Father Ted, the absolute genius that is Father Ted, and it's a picture of Dougal, who's the village idiot in it, lying in bed in his Ireland jersey, holding up a newspaper, and it just says the headline of the newspaper is Guinness is shite in America anyway. Straight after the game, but yeah, look, Ireland aren't very good at football. We sat down here to watch it, all the family. It was like a fucking national holiday or something. Kicked in at about 7:30 this evening, and about an hour into, my wife just said to me, "This is fucking torturous to watch." And I went, "Yeah, yeah." That's why when people ask me, "Do you watch Ireland?" I go, "No," because it fucking like we were watching the game, right, and I was like, "Pass it, well, just pass it to him. Now move, pass, come on." Yeah. And she was like, "Oh, you're very demeaning to those players." And I was like, "No, I'm asking them to do really fucking simple things, and they cannot do it. They go 2-0 up, and then fucking idiot of a left back at a corner. When a guy is chesting the ball out of play, he's going absolutely nowhere. The ball is going out of play. He just decides the best thing I can do here is to just grab this guy and pull him by the jersey as hard as I can right in front of the referee. To give a penalty away, it's 2-1. Ireland decide to go back to their old ways in the second half and just decide, let's everybody just stand in their box and see if this works. And it does until the 86th minute. There's an equaliser. They get through extra time. It goes to penalties. They're leading in the penalties. Czechia, Czech Republic, the Czechoslovakians, I don't know what they are. All of them lads, they miss. They're like, I think their third penalty. I'm like, brilliant. Then the Irish fella goes up and misses. Then the Czech score, and then the next fella comes up for Ireland, and it looks like genuinely he's never kicked the ball in his entire life, and he's trusted with the fucking penalty. He misses, and then they score, and we're out. And now, instead of looking forward to a game against Denmark at home on Tuesday in a playoff to get into the World Cup, we have the joys of a Tuesday night game against North Macedonia. It, it was fucking mad to see. Like, I don't want to go through the whole team and lash them, but there was a guy called Aziz playing, and genuinely I seen him walking off the pitch at half time and went, he's playing. And I genuinely, that was my feeling. And there's another guy called Agbene, and he's not a footballer. He's just not a footballer. And I said to one of the guys, what does he do? And he went, "Oh, he's just more of a kind of a kicker, runner. He's really fast." I was like, well then, I don't know, send him to the fucking shop for the sandwiches at lunchtime. Do not put him on a football pitch. If he's fast, get him to chase the ice cream van. If it's about to pull away from the street and you want an ice cream, do something like that. They're so frustrating to watch, because even the simple things of keeping the ball and passing it and moving is like alien to them. And we got our hopes up. Troy Parrott is like the president of Ireland now. But I was looking at it from about 70 minutes in going, imagine us going to the World Cup. Like, imagine us playing Spain, or Argentina, or fucking, if you just like, this is like
That is the majority of nations, though, going to the World Cup. Of like, you're going for the experience. You're going to have that little bit in your history book that you
yeah,
qualified for a World Cup.
okay, fair enough. But um, like Veranda Cheese says there, the amount of counter attacks Ireland had and just slowed the ball down. It was a horrendous game of football by both sides. It really was. Like, my wife said to me at one stage, "Who's the better team?" I went, "Neither of them." Like, neither of them. Like, Ireland could not pass the ball, okay? And then the Czechs just literally tried to get the ball down near the corner flag as much as they could, and then try get a foul so they could put the ball in the box. That's all it was to it. There wasn't a single bit in the game we went, that's a great bit of football that's created a chance, and I mean that. But look, they're out. if anyone needs
You can,
tickets
you can
for.
go back to not caring about the Irish national team now for
I
another,
know.
what, 4 months until the next round of
It's not that I
qualification
don't
starts?
care. Well, if it's a Nations League game they're involved in, the Nations League is made up. Nations League is basically money laundering. All right, there's like that's all it is. It's a criminal offence, the Nations League. But it's not that I don't care. It's just I don't see why I should put myself through it. I have enough things going on in life. I have enough drama in my life, and I have enough fucking, things in my life where I go fuck that. And this is definitely one of them that I can just sideswipe at any stage, and I will. Um, I just can't understand professional footballers that can't pass the ball. And just look up and go, there's the decision that I should make. Like the ball was pop. Honestly, last thing I'll say in it, right? The last thing I'll say, this is the truth, right? The last thing I'll say in it, and I don't know what minute it was in. I'm going to say it was in it was in the second half of the game. The ball got crossed into the check box. Okay, they cleared it, and it went about 30 yards outside the box, 20 yards outside the box, towards the sideline, and the Irish guy ran over towards it with nobody around them. The ball bounced in the air, went up in the air, about 5 yards from the sideline. Nobody near him. And instead of going, gravity will take that ball down towards the ground and I can control it with my feet, which is what I earn me living with. Okay? Instead, what I'll do is I'll try jump and meet this at its highest point and head it. And he headed it back up into the air and it fell. And the guy ran over from the checks and just blocked them off and got a throw. And I was like, this is what, like, but they're paying good money to watch this. You know what I mean?
Sorry for doing that to you, but
It's all right. It's okay. It's like, and people are probably looking at me going, "Geez, he's really badly affected by it." I'm not. I'm just not well. I'm drinking lemon flavored paracetamol to keep me going. Veranda Cheers will say, all I can say is I grew up watching the best Ireland team will ever see. 1988, 1990, 1994, 2002. We will never see that good again. Correct. Because they knew what they were good at and they done it really, really well. But yeah, look, I feel sorry for the Irish lads that go to every game. In general, I just feel sorry for them because imagine going to every single game. But not getting to the World Cup is a hammer blow for them. But look, you have North Macedonia at home on Tuesday to look forward to. So hey,
there you go. Fill out the Aviva for that. The other games, Turkey beat Romania 1-0. Kosovo over Slovakia 4-3. Poland edged Albania 2-1. Wales and Bosnia-Herzegovina went to a penalty shootout. Bosnia won that by 2. Denmark absolutely crushed the North Macedonians 4-0. Sweden beat Ukraine 3-1. And Italy beat North Ireland 2-0.
Yep.
Unfortunate for them. I mean, the big game, though, in the qualifying is definitely New Caledonia against Jamaica coming up later tonight. Because, I mean,
I actually seen one earlier, and I think it was like Bolivia against
Suriname.
Suriname, and I was like, wow. Okay.
Yeah, one of those two teams is going to the World Cup. So
is that the old style where they used to, like, poor Australia used to top the Oceania group every time, and then they'd have to go and play like away up a fucking mountain in South America where like there was no oxygen?
Yeah, it's New Caledonia, I believe, is a Pacific island. So, like, I can't imagine how few footballers they have compared to the big nations. But again, it's one of those things. Like, if you're a New Caledonian football fan, you're dying for your team to go to the World Cup so that you can go watch them get spanked 6-0 in 3 games and then go home. So, but that's some of the big sporting news. It's actually quite a big week in sports. Last week we talked about the kickoff of March Madness. March Madness is just about to get started in the Sweet 16. And I have to say, for a tournament that is supposed to be full of upsets, I'm not a big college basketball fan, but I know how brackets work. And there is only one double-digit ranked team that made it into the Sweet 16. Like, it has been nothing but the favorite winning. So this might be a year where somebody might actually have a perfect bracket because it seems like mostly you're getting all the favorites going through. The tiny little bit I did watch was the one upset, number 9 seeded Iowa, upset a number 1 seed in Florida, last minute 3-pointer, and then there was like a second or two left and Florida couldn't go down and get the win in that game. And that's a big upset for them. And the Iowa fans go crazy. It's like their first time in 27 years that they've made it to this round of the tournament. But the only thing I took from it is there is this guy that plays for the Florida basketball team. I think he's French. He's 7'9", 350 pounds.
Fuck off.
He's fucking gargantuan.
What's his name?
Who is the giant that plays for Florida? I probably could have done a little bit of research. His name is Oliver Ryu. He is 7'9", which is 2.36 meters.
Canadian
he's
basketball player.
All right. He's a Canadian. Deadly. And
Holy
he was previously
shit,
recognized.
I'm looking at him here. The size of him.
Yeah, he's absolutely gargantuan. He was 7 foot tall when he was 12 years old.
What is going on? There has to be a steward's inquiry into that.
It has to be a pituitary inquiry, if nothing else. But he did not get any minutes for the bit of the game that I was watching. But I love the fact that he's so big, they make him sit right at the very end of the bench, because if he sat anywhere else, you wouldn't see any of the other players on the Florida team. He's absolutely gargantuan. So hopefully we see some more of him in next year's March Madness, because who does not want to see a guy that is damn near...
Hold on a second. I'm looking at him here, right? And I use this term loosely, dunking the ball, right?
Yeah.
He's I swear to God, right? His hands are on the hoop as the ball is in, and I'm going to say his feet are no more than 6 inches off the ground.
Yeah, they really wouldn't have to be. You have to imagine, how long will your arms be if you're 7'9"? Your arms have to be 4 feet fucking long. At least. My arms are 3 feet long.
Yeah.
I'm 5'11". This guy's fucking another half of me over again. So, if the basket's only 10 feet, he'd probably just drop that thing right in.
Yeah.
So, I look forward to his extremely short career, because every so often you get a professional basketball player that comes through that is above 7'3", 7'4", and their bodies just cannot handle it. I think it's just far too much strain on their joints and whatnot to carry that much weight around and to be that tall. That they never go on to be absolute superstars. Victor Wembanyama being the exception to that rule, because that guy is an absolute monster.
So question, because this is
Yeah.
like a genuine, it's like an adult classroom, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So we're down to the last 16 in this basketball.
Yep.
And now with the 16 seeds, is it just 1 to 16 are in the thing?
Yeah, so you've got, I'll just run through it quick. So you got number 1 Duke against number 5 St. John, number 2 UConn against number 3 Michigan. So that's almost the 4 favorites getting through. The only upset there is number 5 St. John beat number 4 Kansas. You come down, number 9 Iowa is playing number 4 Nebraska. So the number 9 team beat the number 1 team. The other one are number 2 Houston against number 3 Illinois. No upsets there whatsoever. Number 1 Michigan playing number 4 Alabama. Number 2 Iowa State playing number 6 Tennessee. The number 6 Tennessee in the last round beat number 3 Virginia. And then in the final one, you've got number 1 seeded Arizona against number 4 Arkansas, and number 2 Purdue against number 11 Texas. Texas in the last round beat the number 3 seed in Gonzaga. So there's been almost no massive upsets whatsoever in the tournament. All the favorites are going through, which is, as a very outside fan looking in, to me, that's not really what the tournament's about.
And is this done in one area? Is this done in one place now, where they bring them all together and go, right, we're playing this over?
No, because they have 4 different. So they have East, West, North, and South.
Oh, okay.
Each of those are played separately until I believe you get either to the Elite 8 or the Final 4, and then they have the final couple of games in one location, because there's too many. They played 32 and 16, so they've already played 48 games in a week.
Yeah.
So every day there's 5, 6, 8, 10 games on sort of thing. So you couldn't physically do it in one location. So they spread it around the country, and it's good if you're a college basketball fan. So my brother-in-law took his son down for his birthday to Buffalo. Buffalo had, I think, the North Division, and they went and they saw a couple of games on Thursday for a birthday present for him. So it's kind of nice if you're a college basketball fan, which I am not. I see Dylan saying, I hope this isn't another baseball show. I'm going to talk about baseball right now because today is one of the great days of the sporting calendar. It is opening day of the Major League Baseball season.
So let me just
Buckle up.
let me just get this straight. This is the opening day of the Major League Baseball season. So
Yep, here we go.
just for me, let me pick a team. The I think there's one called the Padres.
There is a team called the Padres, the San Diego Padres.
Okay, so the San Diego Padres. For anyone watching and is unfamiliar with how fucking insane the schedule is, how many games, regular season, will the San Diego Padres play, starting from today, and when does it end?
The San Diego Padres, like all teams, will play 162 regular season games.
It's
Final day of the MLB season 2026. I'm going to say, the 25th? So until the 27th of September. So today is what? The
26th of March. So it's 6
March,
months.
April, May, June, July, August,
6
September.
months.
Yeah. In 6 months, which is roughly 180 days, they will play 162 games.
Yeah.
If you like baseball, it is feast mode because there's always baseball on.
Is there anybody out there, like you spoke to me a couple of weeks ago about baseball, right? And we will get into it as the games go on and stuff like that. As the weeks go on, we'll talk about it and where maybe teams are and stuff, and that's fine.
Oh, but baseball doesn't matter until July.
Right, okay, well, we won't talk about it until July then. But what I'm going to ask you is, right, you spoke to me about a guy, I think he was a Mexican lad, and he was like, he hasn't missed a game for fucking 17 years, right? Something like that, right? It was stupid, right?
Cal Ripken Jr., yeah.
Is there any supporters or fans out there that haven't missed a game? There has to be stories about a guy that just, left his wife in the fucking dirt and, decided I'm going to be a Major League Baseball supporter and just follow me to him everywhere. Is it possible? Is it probably not?
I mean, well, let's see here. There's a post on Reddit asking, has there ever been a documented case of a fan attending all 162 regular season Major League games home and away? And apparently a Shohei Ohtani superfan did it 2 years ago where he went to every single Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim game, that's tough going because that team sucked. That team sucked. So, I mean, yeah, that's incredible dedication because you're talking about going out on road trips that will last 3 weeks. Like a team will, so let's say the Padres, they're in San Diego. When they head to the northeast part of the United States to play your Philadelphias, your Bostons, Chicago, New York, and all that, they'll go for 3 weeks. So that guy's
there's
on
there's no zones here. It can just be fucking anywhere in America you can go.
Well, there are. You play your teams in your division a little bit more. It used to be you almost exclusively played teams in your division, and they've cut that down a lot. So now there's a lot more interdivision and interleague play. But you got to cut down on the amount of times you're expecting San Diego to go to Toronto or Toronto to go to Texas or Miami and stuff like that. It's just too much travel. So kudos to that fan. He obviously has a lot of money and a very understanding family. And
I don't think he has family.
No, it's that's a bit wild. The other thing that's coming in is we're getting down to the final 10, 11 games of the NHL regular season, and I don't know how much you get to as a big soccer football fan get to do scoreboard watching. Do you ever find yourself doing a lot of scoreboard watching where you're looking and seeing what the scores are happening in the other games because it affects your team?
No, not really. Yeah. Because, no, not really. Because, to be fair, what happens is when your team is involved in, say, a title race, like, say, Liverpool are involved in a title race, they never play at the same time as their closest rival. And most times not even on the same day. So you're kind of just watching your game. And in my case, I watch Liverpool, and then if a title rival's playing the next day, I just don't watch them. I look up the result and hope against hope that the other team have dropped points somewhere. So there's not an awful lot of that. I think the only way you kind of see scoreboard watching in football now in big events is, the last group games of World Cups all played at the same time. You have the Champions League, the last night of the Champions League, all fucking 18 games played. And do you know what? Brilliant idea, by the way, because as much as I don't like the new Champions League format, I do like them all being played on the same night at the same time. And you're like, because if you remember, a great story comes out of it where Benfica are playing Real Madrid, and Benfica need to score I think they're winning, but they need another goal to get into the qualifiers, and their goalkeeper scores a last minute header to get them into the playoff round.
That was our first show.
Yeah, so stuff like that is really good. Veranda Cheese says Gav watches the scores every weekend and updates the betting group constantly. Unless his team loses, then he goes AWOL. No, you see, what I have is I have an app, and when we put our teams in, I favourite all the teams. And basically, I can just click on the app and look at all the teams and update. My team very rarely loses, so I don't go AWOL an awful lot. I'm excellent at picking football results.
But I love that confidence. It's just some of the playoff implications. Like, as it stands right now in my team's division, they're on 88 points. There's a team at 87, 86, another team at 88, 85, 85, 84, and 80. Three of those teams are on the outside looking into the playoffs. So there's about 8 teams, and 5 of them are going to make the playoffs, and 3 of them aren't. And like every night is like, holy shit, who's playing? Because if somebody loses, that's massive for your team, and you want your team to win. And it's getting into the best time of sports when everything, with the exception of American and Canadian football, is on. You know, baseball's on, you got basketball playoffs, you got hockey playoffs, you're getting to the end of all your soccer seasons, you know, you're getting into the final 8 or the final 4 of the Champions League. It's absolute joy for me as a wide-ranging football fan. I'm going to pivot, Gab.
Veranda asks, what's the app you can get a sponsor here? Oh, no, I'm working on what was the sponsor's name again? Damage Control.
Damage Control.
Haven't heard that back from them.
Yeah.
But I'm working currently on. I'm trying to locate a sweatband company that are not mainstream like Nike or Under Armour. I want something called, you know, Fresno. You know, something like that. I want something like that. So if anyone knows any really, really middle of the road sweatband companies, you know, the ones you wear the sweatbands on your arms if you're playing tennis, or around your head if you're playing tennis, stuff like that.
It's mostly for tennis.
Yeah, I want to. Bolivia are losing at home 1-0 to Suriname in the World Cup playoff at the minute, says Johnny.
That'll be a huge upset.
That would be unbelievable.
I mean, not simply because Bolivia is the bigger nation than Suriname, but the fact that they're playing at that elevation. Like, I think you had it up there.
13,000 feet.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen like stacked Argentinian teams go and lose in that stadium in La Paz just because the air is so thin up there. So
anyway, if anyone knows any middle of the road sweatband companies, if you want to look it up for me and come back, let me know. Donny. Oh, that is fantastic work from Veranda Cheese. Donny is the one. Let me look this up live. Donny sweatbands on air admin, but we don't care.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. Let's see. You know,
custom branded sweatbands and headbands from ribbonworks.co.uk. No, I'm not interested. Not interested. Is Donny still in business? It's currently owned by the Frasers Group. The company was founded in 1910 by Emile Donny and was based in Couven, Belgium. So Donny
Belgian sweatbands. I can get on board with Belgian sweatbands.
Yeah, Donny. I really want. We're gonna have to look up Donny and see if we can find an email for them. But I think Donny is an absolutely fantastic show. So yeah, let's look that up and send what we usually do, one email, and that's your chance. So Richard Geld says, "This is your."
That's my brother.
That's your brother. I couldn't think of the word. Sibling was the word I was looking for. Habs up 1-0 with a nice goal from Struble. Sorry, I'm not watching, boys, but priorities. Who the fuck are Habs? Is that...
The Habs is the nickname for the Montreal Canadiens. They are les habitants. That's French for
Are
like the
these your
people that
team? Is
live.
these your team?
This is my team. Oh yeah,
And
believe
how
me.
are they? Are they doing well?
I'd say they're currently sitting third in the division. They're on track to make the playoffs right now. Their
No.
top goal
Does
scorer is
how many are in the playoffs?
8 teams from each conference make the playoffs.
So 1
So
to
there's
8.
15 teams in each conference. So 8 out of 15 make the playoffs.
So 1 to 8 and 1 to 8 go into the last 16.
Yeah.
And is that an open draw then?
No, it's very much seeded.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's all seeded. Top seed plays bottom seed.
Okay.
It's so easy. Like
I think
I don't know how.
I think out of all the sports so far, I think hockey might be the one I'll get into more than baseball and basketball.
Well, you were at the right time because the NHL, like the Stanley Cup playoffs, is peak levels of just like.
Will you be offended if I pick a team that's not the Montreal Canadiens?
Yes. Yeah. I'll call you a piece of shit.
Okay. Can I look up the teams?
Yeah, you could feel free to look up the teams. I'm going to diverge here just a tiny little bit. I want to talk to you something about hockey because I think this is something that hockey does better than every other sport. They have the best individual awards. So there's a guy that plays for the Montreal Canadiens. His name is Cole Caulfield. He's their number one goal scorer. He's currently on 44 goals for the season. The number one guy in the league has 46. The guy that finishes with the most goals at the end of the regular season wins the Rocket Richard Trophy for top goal scorer. They give trophies out for everything in hockey, and I think it's brilliant. I think it's absolutely brilliant. They should have this in soccer. The Premier League should be adopting this. Who's the best who's the best defensive player? You know, give an award away for that. Just having who's the player of the year, you know. It's not enough. You're missing out on it. The big difference is young player of the season. Young player of the season. You gotta narrow it down a little bit more than that. Hockey has the Calder Award for Rookie of the Year. You can only be the Rookie of the Year if you've not played more than 10 games the season before, and you're not older than, I think the cutoff is 26. But you can
26?
only win it once. Yeah, like because a guy can come into the league late. You know, like a guy might not break through until he's 25, and he's still technically a rookie because it's his first season. How many times did Harry Kane win Young Player of the Year? Too many times.
Well,
you know, he was already a well-established player by that point. You should get to win it once, and that's it.
But Dylan O'Rourke says participation awards, woke nonsense. Bring back bullying. The French League do a worst player of the season. Yes, please. I'm looking up here. So am I right in saying there's a Central, a Pacific, an Atlantic, and a Metropolitan division within the NHL? Just seems to be Metropolitan. Seems to be the East Coast. Would I be right in saying that? I've seen the name of a team here, and I'm just like, they sound so fucking passive and like just so everything's going to be fine. And the name is Seattle Kraken.
Oh, the newest team in the league. Well, the second newest team in the league.
The Canucks I can't get behind.
What, two Canadian?
No, just Canucks. Not really into it. Blues, Predators, no. Wild, Stars, Avalanche, Blackhawks, the Ducks. I'd be kind of leaning towards them in fairness. Pittsburgh, the Sabres, no. I think I'm going to go with... I don't think you'll get too offended if I was saying, are Seattle Kraken in the playoff positions?
No, they're currently, it looks like 5 points out of a playoff position. So they got 12 games to go. They might stand a chance of making it.
And what about so is the teams Toronto Maple Leafs?
Oh fuck, you're not going to cheer. The Maple Leafs it's unfortunately a few results went the wrong way. I think next week I will get to celebrate my favorite sporting holiday of the year, which is the day when the Toronto Maple Leafs can never win the Stanley Cup that year. When they are mathematically eliminated from the chance of winning the Stanley Cup, I have a celebration every year because I fucking hate the Leafs. The Leafs went from being the best team in the Eastern Conference last year to now they are second, third worst. They've absolutely fallen apart, and it has been brilliant. It has been absolutely brilliant. You do not want to cheer for them. They're fucking losers, Gab. They haven't won a Stanley Cup since the shit was shown on TV in black and white.
I think it's safe to say then that might be your trigger. The word Leafs is
I fucking
strange.
hate the Leafs, Gab. Hate them.
I don't know. Seattle Kraken just feel like, everything's going to be all right. They're just fucking. It's a slower pace of life. But then I kind of get bored of that, and I kind of think they're a bit weird, and they probably sell stuff from brochures. So I'm not going to do that.
Awesome. I mean, they are in the other conference, so they're a West Coast team, not an East Coast team. So they're not really a rival of Montreal. So that doesn't grade against.
Do you know who I'm going to go with? I know I can see them now. I have it. I'm going to go with, and I hope they're in the playoffs, right? I better pick a playoff team to make this interesting for this year, shouldn't I? And then I'll stick with them, I promise. Are the Boston Bruins in the playoffs?
Oh, fuck you, Gav. Jesus, Gav. That's almost as bad as picking the Leafs. It's almost as bad as Currently, the Boston Bruins are the number one of the two wild card teams. They're 3 points up on the teams chasing them. They look likely to make the playoffs.
Boston Bruins it is then. Yahoo! Bruins. Come on, the Bruins. So that's
all right, fine. That's fine. It gives me somebody to smack talk. So
that's the idea, isn't it?
Oh.
I could go, do you know what I can do? I'm going to follow the fucking team you like and be like, oh, are they great? And yeah. And that's fucking boring.
Yeah,
so
they've got the best the Habs have the best young core in the league. We got all these young, exciting players on very good value, long-term contracts. They are on the way up. The Bruins are on the way down.
Well, we'll catch on the way down, give you a few slaps around the place, and then we'll be back.
There you go. You've made your bed. You're going to be a Bruins fan? That's fine by me, piece of shit.
Yeah. Brandon says, what a shout, Gav. One of the most hated teams to pick to piss our Canadian off. Why?
Oh, all the Canadian teams hate the Bruins.
Is it because they're close to the border, or is it?
It's the Canadians and the Leafs and Ottawa are in the same division as the Bruins, so they play each other a few more times every year. Nice. You're more likely to play them in the playoffs. So Leafs fans fucking hate the Bruins because the Bruins have been knocking them out of the playoffs every year for like the last 15 years, which I appreciate. I will hate the Boston Bruins until they're playing the Toronto Maple Leafs, and then I will hope that the Boston Bruins win.
Okay. So they're not the worst team. They're not your favorite, but they're not the worst. Okay.
No, they're my second least favorite.
So yourself and your brother support the same team?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
No, my whole family does.
Your wife doesn't?
No. She doesn't fucking. You ask her
she's in the chat here and she's saying, go Leafs. She's in the chat here and she's like, Leafs. So she supports the Leafs and I support the Bruins.
Fucking
Jesus,
terrible.
I tell you, if you adopt me, if you and your wife adopt me, right, family fucking Thanksgiving could be amazing as we watched. Is NHL played over the Thanksgiving?
It is, time? Yeah. It's it usually starts around the start of October. Regular season ends first week of June, week of April, and Stanley Cup's awarded sometime in the middle of June. So
okay,
all right. I'll get the paperwork going, but
okay, the Bruins
very much like the Boston Bruins. Gab, the last main thing I wanted to talk to you about tonight is. Somebody that was at the absolute highest of levels and has kind of tailed off. And that is, I think, I try not to bring too much soccer football to this because you run the Talking Cop. I'm a contributor on the channel, and we talk a lot about football, and we talk especially a lot about Liverpool Football Club. Mm-hmm. But when I get an alert on my phone from the BBC saying Mo Salah has announced that he's leaving Liverpool Football Club, to me, that is a massive sports story. So I know you did a show the night that it was announced that he was leaving Liverpool Football Club and reacted to that. So I don't want to have to make you regurgitate that too much, but my 2 cents on it is I think he's leaving at the exact right time.
Agreed.
I think the manner in which he's doing it with, what do we have, 8 league games left?
Yep.
2 possibly more games in the Champions League, but let's be serious. 2 games in the Champions League left. 1, possibly more games in the FA Cup left. Let's be honest, probably 1 more game in the FA Cup. I think the timing of it and everything around it, I think it puts such a perfect bow on what for me is, and I said this to the WhatsApp group that I'm in with you and a bunch of other fellas that if for the rest of my life being a Liverpool fan, if I get to see a player that is as great as Mohamed Salah has been for Liverpool for the last 9 years, I'm a lucky man. Because
if you get to see somebody that's as good as Mo Salah over 9 years, you're probably looking at Liverpool's greatest ever player.
this is what I mean.
I think this one. I agree with you. I think it's the perfect time, and there's a couple of reasons for that. You know, a lot of people out there will say, you know, he signed a 2-year deal. Why don't we run down that deal? I think circumstances have changed massively, both for him, in terms of himself and where he is in fitness, confidence, how I wasn't going to say secure he is, but how at ease he is, I suppose, with where he is in life and stuff like that. I think with the club, the club are looking to overhaul this squad in a massive way. And I think the overhaul and the forward planning of Mohamed Salah was probably accelerated with the row he had with Arne Slot earlier on in the season. I don't think this is a case of, Arne Slot's won the argument and Mo Salah is going to go. I think it's more a case of where the club is trying to be in the next 12 to 18 months, and Mo Salah probably sees himself as, you know, I think he would have looked at the 2 years and went, you know what, I'll be really good for 2 years here, leave on top, and I'll be really prominent in what we're doing, and be a spearhead for us. And I think he believed he could do that, and a lot of people did, to be fair. But I think what's happened over the last 6 months anyway, I think Mo Salah's ability to influence games has dwindled. One, I think Liverpool's style hasn't helped him one bit. I'm not laying all the blame at his door. I'm laying some of the blame at Liverpool's manager's door, because I don't think we've adapted to his evolution. All right, very, very well. I think it's a fairly simple way to adapt and put him closer to goal. But if you don't want to do that, and change the way you do it, fine. It's not working anyway, but fine. And I think Mo Salah's probably looking at it going, look, I believe 100% in myself, but I can't control what other people are doing, what other people's ideas are, and what their ideas and plans are, and what they're going to do themselves, i.e. the manager, the hierarchy, whatever it might be. And I think he's looked and thought to himself, right, what do I do here? Do I see it out for 2 years and spend the second year possibly as not a bit part player, but not a main player at Liverpool, and then your farewell and your exit becomes a little bit muted? Or do I turn around and say to the club, listen, I'm not at my best. The atmosphere isn't great. I'm not going to sit on my hands and cost you 20 million quid next year. What I'll do is, let's call it off. Let's call it quits here. You don't get a fee. I don't sit around looking for fucking me 400 grand a week, and I go off and try something new, and that frees up a lot of money and wages for you. There'll probably be a nominal fee, but I think you'll go for free, and it looks like a really amicable party, and everyone's kind of happy. And I get a dozen or so games to say goodbye to the Liverpool fans. And I think it's just worked out really, really well. Don't get me wrong, I think if Salah was absolutely flying, I'd be fuming, because I'd be like, right, what is going on here? But I think it's just sitting in a sweet spot at the minute. And I think Salah's looked at it and went, do you know what? I can't get in a rut here. I just can't. You know, I presume he's going to a World Cup, Salah. I don't know. Yeah. And I think he's probably looking at it and going, I want the freedom of this, and I go to a World Cup, and you know, it's going to be fantastic. And then he has a new venture, and Liverpool get the wages off the books. They give it a really good farewell to him, and there you go. And like Johnny's asking there, do you think he'd stay in Europe, go to the MLS, or go to Saudi? If I was Mo Salah, I'd be sorry, not if I was Mo Salah. If I was teams in the MLS, I'd be queuing up to sign him.
Well, I think like the commissioner or whatever it is of the MLS put out kind of a cryptically worded tweet that kind of hinted at it, that they weren't allowed to say anything about the situation because he was under contract, but wink, wink, nudge, nudge. So the feeling I'm getting is that that's where he's going. And I think it's great. We don't want to, because now we're at the point where we need to start thinking about how we're going to look back on one of our greatest ever players. You know, maybe not, where you put him in the entire pantheon of the history of the club because they have a long and rich history. But in terms of in the modern era, in the Premier League era, he is unquestionably in the top three, probably the top two, and even possibly the best player that we've seen in the last 30 plus years play for this team. And
I think he comfortably sits in Liverpool's top 5 players of all time.
And that's of all time. So, I mean,
All
in the
time.
last 30 years, you're talking about him and Steven Gerrard, and you just got to decide which one you're putting at 1 and which one you're putting at 2, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I think you see an awful lot of this comes down to people think they're talking in definites, and it's like he's definitely this and he's definitely that. I think for 9 years to miss about 10 games through injury, to have 260 goals or something like that. It's a scandalous amount of goals and assists. It's I think when it comes down to it, you'll look. Don't get me wrong. If I picked my top 5 and you picked your top 5, they'd probably be different. And there's no point really arguing. You go, oh well, he's better than him, and you go, well, is he? I think that's how good Liverpool players have been in history. Where you just say to yourself, if you want to put them in, fine. I have a different 5. But let's talk about them all. Like Fernando Cheese says, Suarez was
to me, it's how you phrase the question and how you define the parameters of the question. Because I think there's 3 different questions. Your favorite is your favorite. Who are your 5 favorite players? And that could be you could have Jose Enrique as one of your 5 favorite players if you have reasoning for him to be your that's your favorite. Then you can talk about the best. And that's like Veranda Cheese says there, Suarez was still better than Salah. There's an argument that 13-14 season of Luis Suarez might be the best single season that you will ever see out of a Liverpool player. I would say that last season's Mo Salah is statistically better and ended up winning a
Salah's 4th season is better than Suarez's 13-14 season.
Yeah, and last season was even better than his first season.
Well, he scores 44 goals in his 4th season for Liverpool.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. He doesn't get us over the line. I had so much fun. 17-18 helped me get rid of a lot of the demons from 13-14 of coming close and missing out when you have that player that just looks like they're going to score every time. But then the other question is greatness. And when you talk about greatness, I know who you consider to be the greatest player in the history of Liverpool Football Club, and I agree with you for those reasons, that it is Kenny Dalglish. Because of the off-the-field stuff that goes along with it.
No. Don't fucking misquote me. No, I think the greatest, my favourite player of all time for Liverpool is John Barnes.
Yes.
Right? I think the greatest person at Liverpool over our entire history is Kenny Dalglish because of the mixture of player, manager, and things he done off the pitch, especially around the Hillsborough disaster. I think he is the biggest personality and most important personality in the club's history, overshadowing Bill Shankly, right? I get Suarez was probably a better footballer than Mo Salah, maybe, but there's no way Luis Suarez was a better Liverpool player than Mo Salah was. Not a hope. It's not even close. He has an unbelievable season. He's an unbelievable player, but if you sit down and go through who was a better Liverpool player, it's Mo Salah all day, every day, and twice on Sundays. But I still think if you're picking your top 5, I'd struggle to find anyone that picks their top 5 Liverpool players of all time, and Salah isn't in it. The numbers are outrageous. They're outrageous, and he's not a centre forward. He's scoring on levels of, like he's scoring on got levels of nearly Shearer, Rooney, Henry, Aguero, all these players, and he's playing on the wing.
Yeah.
And people say, well, he wasn't really a winger. He plays on the wing, mate.
He's definitely a winger.
He plays
on the wing. If you go and watch some of his most legendary goals, they are straight up wing play.
I just think, look, all good things come to an end. But I think when you're getting an ending to this, I think it has to be right. And I think everyone would have loved another great season this season and a great season next season, and you see him lifting another league trophy or another European Cup this or next season. You go, you know what a perfect ending. But if that's not going to happen, you have to change the parameters of what a really good ending is. And I think the good ending is that Liverpool as a football club cleared away for whatever Mo Salah wants to decide to do. And if he wants to go at the end of this season and write off the second year and not Liverpool go, we're not going to put pressure and say we want X amount of money or you're staying. It's amicable, and he gets the absolute farewell he deserves, which will be 10, possibly more games, but around 10, 11 games. Half of them away, half of them at home, and both the travelling Liverpool support and the Anfield crowd can show him exactly how they feel about him. And I think that's probably, yeah. I think we'll all be sad on the day, but when it's done, then you kind of go, you know what, probably right.
Yeah. Well, you hit on kind of what I wanted to get to there, and that's basically Mo Salah gets to go on sort of a mini farewell tour, because I don't think, unquestionably, the final home game against Brentford on whatever that is, the 25th of May, is going to be this
4th of May.
Yeah, it's going to be this massive outpouring of love and appreciation for what Mo Salah has done. They're going to bring him and his family out onto the pitch. They're going to line up all of his Player of the Year trophies and the Champions League trophy and the league trophies, and he is going to get the plaudits that he very much deserves. I think that we have, 4 away games left? I think the home fans, when we travel away, are going to show him massive appreciation.
Yeah, I think he'll end up becoming more appreciated for what he is now that he's announced that he won't be there anymore.
Exactly. You're going to get those fans are now letting their guard drop down and being able to just admit and recognize and acknowledge the greatness that you saw, because we have been privileged, especially because he plays for us, but Premier League fans in general and Champions League fans have the joy of getting to watch that level of Mohamed Salah. You know, the Manchester United fan, like, do we play home or away to Manchester United?
Away.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's applause from the Manchester United fans at the end of that game.
I would.
Yeah? It might not be a unanimous. You might get some boos, you might get some claps, if he goes off at the end. I just think that there are actual football fans that will see through, because as much as I cannot say that I'm not here for the hatred and the rivalry, it's basically the reason why I wanted to do this show. But at the end of the day, especially when a player is moving on and you're not going to see them anymore and you're not going to have to deal with them as an opposition fan anymore, I think that's when you can let the tribalism go and let your homerism go and go, well done. It'd
be interesting to see, because I know when Gerrard said he was leaving Liverpool, and I know he gets a couple of really good receptions. He actually gets a really good reception away at Chelsea, if I remember rightly, and he definitely gets one on his last game against Stoke, and that level of player. Gerrard's probably a bit different because he's English, but there is something in you, maybe where you don't clap, but you don't boo either. It's kind of a silent acknowledgement of, if Liverpool are winning 3-0 away at Old Trafford and Salah's coming off with 5 minutes to go, I don't know if he's getting that, but I think, maybe there is a bit of mutual respect, but I'm not too sure on United. I think United will, there's still United fans out there. There's still United fans out there that'll tell you Ryan Giggs was better than them, because Ryan Giggs won 13 league titles. But listen, yeah, he did, but he's not as good a player as Mohamed Salah. He just isn't.
It's just Henri Richard won 11 Stanley Cups, but nobody's going to argue that he's a better player than Wayne Gretzky. Like, winning titles is not the only thing that measures greatness. So United might have been a tough one. I don't know what our other away games are.
Our other away games are Everton. He's not getting that in there.
No.
Everton, United, Villa.
We must be home against Chelsea.
Yeah, we're home against Chelsea, home against Fulham, home against Brentford, and home against Crystal Palace. And we're away to United.
Where's
Everton? United, Everton.
Oh, shit, internet is slow for me today.
I can't remember who the other team is.
Brighton. Nope, that was our last game.
No,
Oh
maybe there's
shit,
only
do we?
7 games left.
We might only have 7 games left.
Yeah, well then that's what it is. I can't. That's why I
Yeah,
can't remember. But
yeah,
no,
we've
he's
only
not
got
gonna get.
seven.
He's not gonna get much of the away ones. And that's okay. But
I think the Villa fans will give him a good reception.
maybe Villa.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's I think it's people of a certain age will look at him and go, you know what, fair play. Because let's be honest about it, most young people now when it comes to football, it's all about just saying like triggering words and stuff like like dusted and fucking
Yeah.
I don't know what the words are, but they say a load of them. And it's just it's kind of you're looking at going, yeah, whatever. But I think the older generation might just look, oh, you know what, he was fucking great. It's a bit like people when they talk about, like I talk about United. Never liked United. Fucking I hate them. But when you look and go, your man Van Nistelrooy was really good, wasn't he? And Scholes was a good player, or
Well, Sir Alex Ferguson, despised him
oh
when
yeah,
he's in
yeah.
charge.
But you
But
have to,
when the guy announces he's stepping away, you have to go, Jesus
yeah,
Christ, that's
some
a
record,
pretty high
yeah,
bar he's set
yeah.
there.
So
You
I
know,
think overall, I think you know what, I'd love nothing more than to see Mo Salah absolutely wrecking the league this season and next, and going off into the sunset with another couple of titles. But when the perfection, when the perfection can't be achieved, I think the next best thing is to make sure it's as good as for that person, not the football club, for that person. And I don't think there's many better than Liverpool when it comes to that. So yeah, all you can do is wish him the best. Dylan says there, I can't see a world where he doesn't end up in Saudi earning, becoming a gazillionaire. But I just think Salah likes the spotlight, and he wants to be seen as still the main man for another couple of years. And I think the place to do that, I don't think it's in Europe. I don't think there's enough focus on European leagues on a weekly basis for him. But I think in America, him going to America, everyone's going to look to America and go, "What? We're watching him."
and I think the difference there between the two is just marketability. So you can't tell me that Lionel Messi hasn't been very well compensated for playing in the MLS and
Oh,
not to Saudi Arabia. I mean, he's got a stake, I believe, in the broadcast deal that they signed with Apple to broadcast all of their games around the world. Anybody that has an Apple account anywhere in the world that gets Apple TV gets full access to every MLS game. There might be some thinking behind the scenes at MLS headquarters of going, boy, we could really get a fucking foot in the door here in Africa. Bring the biggest name in the history of African football into our league, give him a bag of money, and make him the face of our marketing into Africa. Because there's a massive growth market there. There's a massive growth market in Asia.
Somebody was saying that one of the teams is actually ran by an Egyptian billionaire.
Oh, yeah, I think on the show somebody said, I think San Diego maybe?
Well, yeah,
I think
so
San Diego might be getting an expansion team.
yeah, so there you go. Like, and to be fair, he already has a mural in New York, Mo Salah. So it's not like he's not known there. I just think, Dylan says, I think Ronaldo's heading to the MLS, pardoned by Trump to allow him to enter the USA. Maybe he is, but like, it's exactly what you said. Yeah, Ronaldo shows up, and you're like, what the fuck is going on here? But when you look at it, if the MLS want to continue to grow, they do have to hit every market they possibly can, and that includes Asia, it includes Africa, Europe, Australasia, whatever it might be. And if they can get Mo Salah and go, listen, he's probably one of the best African players of all time. There's an argument he is the best African player of all time.
Pretty strong argument.
Well, George Weah won a Ballon d'Or, and you look at the likes of Drogba, and you look at the likes of VIII, but I think Salah might be. Well, he's definitely. Let's just say, for the sake of argument and not arguing, let's say he's in the top 3, but he's the only current one playing. And
exactly,
if you can bring him in and go Mo Salah, with fucking 300 goal involvements in 400 games for Liverpool or whatever it is, because the number's staggering and I forget it. If you think that fucking Apple aren't going to make absolute coin on that, they know exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, and they're really looking to expand the league. Like they're adding teams to it, and they're really trying to build it up. So I think that's the way he goes. But
Hmm.
I wanted to talk about his retirement. Well, it's not even a retirement. He's just leaving Liverpool. But as soon as he's gone from Liverpool, he's retired in my books. Because there are some great examples of players that have had. There's two great ways to go out. It's you either go out surrounded by adulation from fans everywhere. The best examples are Kobe Bryant in basketball. When he announced it was his final season, every away arena he was playing in for the last time, standing ovations,
Yeah,
absolute standing ovations. And then he nails it. In his final game, he puts up 60 points.
yeah,
He has one of his best scoring games in his very last game. That is walking off at the absolute peak. In baseball, two New York Yankees who shouldn't be celebrated because they're the fucking Yankees, but like Derek Jeter, same thing. Goes to all these different places. Every team is giving him these specialized gifts, and thank you, fucking Captain Jeter, bub. My favorite though, Mariano Rivera. He's a Panamanian closing pitcher. He's the guy you bring at the very end of a game to just get the final 3 outs and get the win across the line. Played for the Yankees his entire career. He was known for having this pitch that just veered inside on right-handed hitters, and it hits a little bit further up the bat, and it breaks bats. So he went on his farewell tour. He announced this his final season, and he goes in San Diego. They give him a surfboard, and he goes to Texas, and they give him a set of spurs and a lasso or something like that. When he went to Minnesota, they gave the guy, it's called the Chair of Broken Dreams, and they made him a throne out of broken baseball bats, some of which were from his pitching, and gave it to him as just this sign of absolute respect. And I want to see that for like your best players. You want to see fans around be able to put their fandom just to the side for 5 minutes and just show appreciation to a true great of the game. The other way of doing it is to just, and it's still possible for Mo Salah, Gav. I know it's not likely. We've got a tough road to win the Champions League, but it is still possible.
Oh, it's absolutely possible. And there's an FA Cup there as well, and you know, like to be fair, if Mo Salah gets Liverpool into the Champions League spots and we go to that Brentford game and we're going, well, this actually isn't his last game because his last game is a Champions League final against fucking Arsenal or whoever. You'd be delighted, or he's 2 games to go because the FA Cup. Well, I don't know if the FA Cup's after the season this year. I couldn't fucking tell you because they change around. But you'd love nothing more than for Salah to play his last game at Anfield and go, he still has 2 games left, and it only I don't know how much bigger his stature can get at the club, but if he walked away with an FA Cup, a Champions League, and the top 4, you go like that's just a mark of the man,
Yeah.
Because when Liverpool don't win when Liverpool finish towards the season before last, he immediately after the last game of the season comes out and says, right, thanks for the support this season, but we're going for the next season, and we have to win trophies. But and he does. He goes and he scores 25 goals, and Liverpool win a league. And I understand where you're coming from with other fans showing a bit of respect and stuff like that. And yeah, I'm with you. I think when you get to a certain age, you kind of go, I couldn't be arsed booing this fella. He's fucking really good, But my only concern is that the Liverpool fans show him what he means to them, and I think they will. And to be fair, I think that's all what Salah will want. And then I hope he goes to the MLS, and I hope he goes to the MLS because I genuinely think it's a bigger staging for him than another European.
Nobody really gives a shit
than another European league, or another European league or Saudi. I think it's a bigger staging. Veranda says there's more chance of returning Manchester United legend getting applauded at Anfield than the other way around. Yes, well, Anfield did, of course, after Ronaldo lost a child. I think it was lost a child. Anfield made sure that they stood up on the 7th minute of a game against Manchester United and done a minute's applause from him. And Ronaldo's been on record as saying, like, one of the most humbling experiences of his career to see that, And sometimes things are bigger than football, but this is football, and people will still go down the tribalism route. And Dylan does say there, isn't this the biggest issue with the lack of tribalism in American sports? All too lovey-dovey because any player can end up at any team. Yeah, I think that might be a fair point. But there's tribalism. I don't mind tribalism going through, but maybe it's just an age thing. Maybe 20 years ago I'm in the stands and Alex Ferguson's leaving and I'm throwing all sorts of abuse. If Alex Ferguson's leaving today, I'm kind of going.
I don't imagine
whatever.
a lot of 18-year-olds, that have been on the pints all day.
No, because they'd be saying stuff like dusted and fucking whatever the fuck, hold that and fucking whatever the fuck they're doing. Yeah.
It might be one.
Thank you.
But anyways, I just thought it was a great time. It was a good call from Mo. I had a shitload of stats I wanted to get through, but it's just because I love baseball so much. I will say, I hope Mo Salah takes a page out of 3 NFL legends books. Jerome Bettis, Ray Lewis, Peyton Manning. All of them announced they were retiring at the end of the season, and all of them won the Super Bowl in their last year.
Well, I'll take it.
Mo Salah is going to lead Liverpool to the Super Bowl this year, what I'm getting at.
If Mo Salah wins the Champions League with Liverpool this year, we can talk about Steven Gerrard pulling teams on his back, but fuck me, this team is like.
That changed it completely. If Mo Salah retires with 2 leagues and 2 Champions Leagues, I mean, I think Phil Casey on the Talking Cop Patreon channel the other night, for him saying, unequivocally he's the greatest player in Liverpool history.
Yeah,
I think if you got 2 and 2 there with all them goals, I think that becomes a very strong argument. But
I think it does.
I thought it was a good call from Mo Salah. But speaking of good calls, Gav, I got a little ref quiz for you. A little reffing quiz for you.
Yeah.
Because we slate the refs a lot.
Uh-huh.
The refs catch a lot of abuse. They catch a lot of abuse, mostly because they're fucking terrible in every sport pretty much all the time.
Well, I know you're doing this right, but you're saying, you're talking about refs and stuff like that. I don't have a what the fuck moment this week, but I got a text earlier from Ashley, our mutual friend, who loves stats and loves looking up the workings of the Premier League referees, the PGMOL, and then the committee that overlook their decisions. So I'll show you something at the end. But go on, let's do this now. I'll show you this to finish you.
All right, I've got a quiz. I've dropped the ball on bringing a quiz for you. So I'm gonna make up for your not having a what the fuck story. And I've got a 2-part quiz, Gap.
Okay.
It's gonna be tough for you because you are a soccer fan, and soccer referees don't use hand signals. And I think they're really missing something. They're missing a trick, because in a lot of the other sports,
they're doing a bit more now.
A little bit, but there's not, for instance, pulling in the box, or
there's
holding
not a there's not a code, there's not an index to look at. Yeah,
so
okay.
I'm gonna give you 5 hand signals,
and
I want you to tell me what penalty it is that I'm calling.
And what sport is it in?
I can give you the sport. If you're struggling, I can give you the sport. So I tried not to double up on any of them.
Okay.
So let's just see if you can get them just with no prompting and no help.
Okay.
So here's the first one.
NFL interference.
Ooh. It might be. That's usually hands closer together. The important thing here is 10 fingers.
Is boobs? Has someone grabbed boobs? It's Hooters. Hooters is open.
No, this is from the sport of rugby.
Oh. Would you shut 2 hands out like this? Okay. I don't know. I don't know.
That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 minutes. That's a sin bin.
Sin bin. Okay.
Sin bin. All right. Here's an easy one.
No score.
In which sport?
I think that's in rugby.
Possibly. I didn't double up on rugby. I gave you a rugby one already. I'll tell you, this is in cricket.
Oh, no ball.
No.
6.
Ooh, we are so close. 4. That's a 4. That's a 4 right there.
But wasn't there a guy that used to be really a real fucking lunatic, and he used to be doing all this, he was fucking.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, I didn't want to jazz it up. I didn't want to jazz it up too much. Okay.
Okay.
This one is from hockey and lacrosse. Both same call for the same penalty.
Okay. Hockey and lacrosse. It sounds like blocking.
This is something that came up on our reaction show to the NHL Big Hits. You said you quite liked this penalty.
Yeah, but wasn't there one where you had to do this?
Yeah, that's boarding.
Yeah, that was boarding.
There was another one.
Well, all I can think of now all I can think of is someone's dropped their towel and they're quite embarrassed. And the woman, the boobs person.
No, that is interference. Interference.
2-minute
penalty.
Okay.
For interference. Okay. This is one from both Canadian and American football.
Oh, Canadian and American football. Tackle with a helmet.
Ooh, no, that's close though. That's close. That's too many men. Too many men on the field.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right. Now this last one, it's a bit elaborate, and I can't tell you the sport, but let's just see if you can get it. Let's just say this: it is an Olympic sport.
Oh, fantastic. Okay.
It might be the most corrupt sport in the entire world.
Oh, it's definitely track and field.
No,
it's cycling.
Okay.
Cycling.
No.
It has to be cycling. They're all on. Oh, they are all on drugs and cycling.
That's cheating. That's not corruption.
Oh, corruption in Olympics.
So we're doing.
I can't see your hands.
Well, they're out with my palms down.
Out with your palms down. Okay.
That. Oh, which way do I got to go here? Then like that.
Yeah.
And then like that.
So out with the palms down. In here.
Yeah.
In here.
No, out with the palms down.
Yeah.
And palms facing up and in, and then you bring them together. Is
that like the start of a round in boxing?
Very close. Very close.
So you put your hands out, lads, relax. We'll come on in and go.
Very close. That is on guard, ready, fence.
Oh, is that really corrupt?
Oh my God! Yes, it's the judging in fencing is beyond corrupt.
Oh, is it?
Beyond corrupt? Yeah.
Oh,
I'll send you a link to a YouTube show about it.
I need to look that up.
Yeah, it's hilarious. All right.
Okay.
So now we're gonna switch. We're gonna switch roles on this one, Gav. I'm going to give you the penalty, and I want to see if you can give me the hand signal for it.
Oh, right. Okay. Right.
Okay.
Right.
So I got two from hockey here. The first one from hockey, hooking.
Does that work? No, I'm only messing. Something like that. Hooking.
Close. That is.
Oh, okay, right. So it's actual hooking. I'm trying to think way outside the box here.
Oh, no. All right, but that was close. Okay, the second one from hockey, holding the stick.
Holding the stick. Is that not what you meant to do?
No, so this only became a penalty about 30 years ago because guys on defense were realizing that if you just grab the opposition player's stick and hold on to it, he's never scoring. And they were like, fuck, we got to make a rule about this.
Okay, so I'm going to say, just on the way the America's people are, I'm just going to hold the stick above my head like this.
Close. It is the most literal one. It is holding. This is pretty much the universal hand signal for holding.
Yeah. Okay.
And then the stick. It's a two-parter. Holding the stick.
It's like the reverse incident with OJ. Firstly, he was over them like this, and then he was in handcuffs.
Exactly.
But okay.
Exactly.
I'm still not over the one where he just puts his hands on his head and everyone goes, "Oh, there's too many people on the pitch." Should he not do something like? No, not good enough.
That's right out. No. You gotta have hand signals so that the crowd knows what's going on.
Yeah, but if I stand on what was them screens they used to have in America? What were they called? The Triton, the
Jumbotron.
The Titantron.
No, Jumbotron.
I think it was a Titantron as well. I think
It was not. It was a
might have been a
jumbo.
different brand. I'm nearly sure there was a Titantron. And I would love anyone to look it up just to confirm that for me. But I think if it pans to me in the middle of the Super Bowl, and I'm like this, they'll all go, too many players on the pitch.
I thought for sure. I looked up the call for too many men because I thought it was this in hockey, but it's not. It's
And
not.
and
All
I
right.
think for effect, I think if I had a cigarette in my mouth where the smoke was kind of getting in my eyes a little bit, like you're kind of like,
Yeah. Watering a bit.
yeah, and then you go, and then they go. The
You're right
Titantron was
out.
in the WWE, says
Oh,
John.
there you
Johnny,
go.
I
I
knew
didn't
it
know that.
existed.
But Shane McMahon got thrown off the top of that bad boy at one
Shane
time.
McMahon got thrown at the top of most things, in fairness, in the WWE,
Yeah.
which I think
And
maybe the Attitude Era is probably the greatest era in all of the sports/entertainments. Without a doubt.
we did talk about this, and
So
you
good.
might be right. It's absolutely top notch. All right.
Your wife asked in the chat, give us the Coles notes of the fencing corruption.
Basically, how points are scored in fencing.
What's the
like
Coles notes?
Like Cole's notes is just like if you don't want to read Shakespeare, you get the Cole's notes, and it translates it into regular English and condenses it. So
Okay, so
Hamlet's
just
only
English
like
for
30
idiots.
pages.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's I used the Cole's notes for Hamlet, and I got 100% on my grade 12 Hamlet essay.
Is that where when we go? Listen, don't give me all this. Just give us the gist of it. Is that basically okay? Right.
Yeah, that's the Cole's note. It's that when two people are fencing each other, and like one of them hits the other one a millisecond before, a judge that's watching it makes the call on who gets the point. And in especially in American collegiate fencing, which I didn't even realize that you can get a scholarship.
Is that the champion of corruption?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, American collegiate fencing, and it might shock you, the Russians are involved.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's not shocking. All right, 3 to go.
Oh, sorry. I have to read this. Veranda Cheese said they should do the opposite of the person doing sign language in the bottom corner of the screen with a person explaining these stupid hand signals. I always find it amazing that the person in the corner of the screen doing the sign language for the deaf, they only show up at 1 o'clock in the morning on the TV.
Oh,
yeah, you can watch TV all day and there's not a single person on the screen explaining, the Antiques Roadshow, with sign language, but when you get to 1 o'clock in the morning, all of a sudden this person appears, and they're like, and you're like, well, surely the deaf don't only watch telly at 1 o'clock in the morning. Why is it on here?
Yeah. You use subtitles, don't you? I mean,
yeah, you can. But what I'm saying is that, well, if you use subtitles, what's the point of them being there at all?
Well, that's what I mean.
But they are there.
The programming, it's maybe only the stuff that's on at 1 a.m. doesn't have subtitles. Like the people that do the subtitles are like,
how the technology is there now to just fucking automate them, run the fucking footage through an automator. I can do it.
Automatic subtitles are terrible.
Well, the program I have is fantastic.
I like that show from Johnny Barge saying, "Watch the In-Betweeners with sign language." I might
quality TV. Yeah, not bad.
I don't know how you sign briefcase wanker, but now I really want to know. All right, final 3 for you, Gab. This one's from Canadian football. This is when you get within the 5-yard halo on a punt, because Canadian football is different from American football. This penalty is called no yards. How would you signal no yards?
I'd kind of go like that, and then I'd go like that.
Very close. It is like a...
Oh, I wasn't far off there. Oh, hold on. Do you have to make that face?
I think so. Because you're very disappointed.
Okay.
Pretty much this rule, because this isn't a rule that exists in American sports, so when American collegiate players don't make it in the NFL and they come up to Canada to play, they always get caught out by this, because you're on the punt cover team and you're just running down the field as fast as you can, and you immediately get within the 5 yards. And it's 15-yard penalty, no yards, comes every time. All right, here's one that I think they need to bring in for soccer. This is from NBA. What do you think the hand signal is for a flop, for a dive?
In the NBA? I think it's this.
You're so literal.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
no. It is one hand on the back of the head. One hand on the back of the
Well, realistically, one hand on the back of the head should mean there's not enough people on the pitch, because two fucking hands on the top of your head means there's too many.
That's a different sport, though.
But
You
just
can't.
saying,
It
they
is
should. They
impossible
should.
to get too many men on the court for basketball. I don't even know if that's possible to have
Yeah.
happen. All right, last one, Gav.
Okay.
This one is from the NFL.
Okay.
It is my favorite named rule, I think, in all sports. Illegal touching.
Oh. Does does a picture of Jeffrey Epstein just fucking float across the screen? Maybe it's with the, in my head, Jeffrey Epstein's head pops up on the screen, and it's dubbed over. The words for the foul is dubbed over by Bill Clinton. And I'll go with that. But no, illegal touching.
Yes.
I think it's like. I could go the funny route with this, but I won't. I'm going to try to be professional. Illegal touching. Maybe the arm comes out like this, and they just rub like this.
That's not bad. That might be actually even closer. The correct answer is that.
Okay. So
Do you
it's
know
basically
what?
close.
Do you
It's
know
basically
what
close to the. It's basically close to the M in YMCA.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
no, not as much time. Do you know what constitutes? Why would a player get called for illegal touching in the NFL? What do you think?
Maybe grabbing someone by the genitals.
That's exactly what I was hoping you would say. No, it is when a player leaves the field of play, comes back onto the field of play, and engages either an opposition player or touches the ball. So in football, once you cross the sideline, you are out. You cannot come back in for the rest of the play. So that is illegal touching. So it went as exactly as well as I was hoping it was going to. Gav, I don't think you're cut out to be a referee in any of the sports.
Well, in fairness, but to be fair, it'd be like me walking into doing an interview with you and you go, listen, thanks a million for coming into interview for this job as the local accountant in this local firm, and you go, by the way, what does this mean? And I go, well, and you go, well, you're not covered over refereeing, so you're not getting this job either. You haven't given me any manual. You haven't given me, I think maybe I should get maybe 50 calls in sort of visual form, and then you could test me on them, and you go, okay, in the NFL, illegal touching, and I go, oh yeah, fucking boom, 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 and then you go, oh, very good. And
I also had to pick ones that I could do seated at my desk here. There's a lot of them from hockey and football that require like a full body view, and I wasn't willing to work out the logistics.
Well, Veranda says, I absolutely love watching the sign language person translating music videos, and they get well into it and start bopping while singing. It's amazing. And your wife, Elizabeth G, says, yes, Veranda, they're the best.
The woman that is up on the stage at, I think it's an Eminem concert, and she's signing along as Eminem is rapping, and you're like, you might be the most talented fucking person I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Because he's just ba-ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba, and
but they're not getting the spotlight because their talents are only put on TV at 1 a.m.
No, I think this woman gets the spotlight because, if she's not lit up on the stage, the deaf people are never going to see her. So.
Elizabeth G 5853 says, learn one a week and bring it into the conversation naturally. Oh, so basically I learn a rule or a gesture, and then every week as we're talking I just bring it in. So I have to find a way of crowbarring that in. Good idea.
Yes.
Write that down. You have a pen.
Okay.
Write that down along with the Stephen such and such award that we have to do.
Oh, the Scott Stevens Award. I mean, that's something that we give away on our reaction shows, I think. So if you haven't followed the show, if you don't have the subscribe notifications on, we have now put out our second reaction video. The first time I brought Gav a top 10 of the best NHL hits of the I don't know, 2015 era because they're slightly older. And this week we had the 10 great hits from the National Rugby League out of Australia.
Next week is definitely NFL, isn't it?
Yes, next week we're going to do NFL. We're going to try to round out all the hits and see if we can pick out what might be the best, most devastating hit in the entire history of sport. That's kind of what I'm aiming for on that. And then we'll switch over to goals or saves or catches or bloopers or something like that, just to keep it fresh. But our first ever Scott Stevens Award for humanitarian work in sports went to George the Grim Reaper Tafua for an absolutely...
hits is fucking... It's attempted murder. It's fucking attempted murder, I'm telling you. It's like a drive-by jousting. You have to watch it. It's outrageous.
Yes.
Call me Buffy, she says. Okay, fair enough. There was a woman who got caught recently for faking sign language at a government affair.
It's a credit to him. It's like I think the guy was in England. I think the guy was in England that was being a lawyer for people in court and was not a lawyer.
Yeah.
And then they found out and they charged him and he defended himself and won. And it's like, well, it sounds like he's a lawyer then.
Yeah.
It sounds to me like this guy's a pretty good fucking
lawyer.
He
might not know all the hand gestures when it comes to lawyering, but at the same time, he fucking knows what he's doing. You know, you can understand most of this game.
Gav, you're getting the World Cup final. Ireland is not making it, so you're not going to be bound by any sort of national right.
I just swan in a pair of tracksuit bottoms and a t-shirt, right, with "Kiss Me, I'm Irish" written on it, and I rock in, and they go, "What are you doing?" I go, "I'm here to ref." And they're like, "This is the World Cup final." I go, "Yeah, that's what I'm here for." And they're like, "Well, you're not really a ref." And I go, "Well, put me out there and I'll prove it." And it turns out I made all the right decisions. Hand signals weren't the greatest.
That guy or whoever that Frank Clement Turpin. Nope.
Yeah. Illegal touching. I get mixed up and I start doing things like no, stuff like that. And but we get through it, and the World Cup passes without any incident. Bar fucking the guy that got a peace award for bringing it to America. Well, it passes without incident, but the guy that brought us to America. And got a peace award for it, has started 3 wars during the quarterfinals.
Amazing.
But anyway, know what the fuck moment, but back to the PGMOL, my favourite people, and refereeing in general. So, there's a key match incidents panel, right? Yeah. That basically look at all the decisions that were made by the referees who are the PGMOL in the Premier League. And they basically look at it and they go, right, there's 5 of them, and they go, here's the incident, here's the decision. The decision was this, and they go, well, 4 of us think that's right, and 1 of us thinks it's wrong, or vice versa, and whatever else, right? But where do you see this? Where do you hear this? And this is courtesy of Ashley, right? Our friend Ashley, and she said, the Premier League's, so there was an incident at the weekend, where, or last week, where Newcastle were playing Chelsea at Chelsea's ground. Newcastle won the game 1-0. But there was a corner to Newcastle, and as the ball came into the box, it was on one of our shows, we done the other day, and as the ball comes into the box, a player named Reece James is hanging on to a player called, can't think of his first name. Second name is Thiaw. They signed him. He's a centre back. They signed him from AC Milan. Say again.
Malik Thiaw.
Okay. So as the ball comes in, Malik Thiaw was looking at the ball and he's trying to get to it because he wants to score for Newcastle because that's his job, right? And Reece James is not looking at the ball, not looking at where it's coming from, no interest in that. He just literally stands facing this guy, and everywhere this guy goes, he goes with him, hangs out of him, pulls out of him, the guy hits the ground, no penalty given. It's checked and it's cleared, and it's like, no, nothing given. Now, just there's the background, right? Quick as I can. The Premier League's key match incidents panel voted 4-1 that referee Paul Tierney should have pointed to the spot and awarded the penalty after Reece James held back Malik Thiaw. 4-1. It should have been a penalty. However, it unanimously said that the VAR, Michael Salisbury, was right not to step in and tell the referee he had made a clear and obvious error. The incident happened in the 34th minute with Newcastle already in the lead. The KMI panel noted that James gets caught the wrong side and maintains contact. It added that while both players were holding, on balance, the action of James was non-football and impactful. So the panel have
not a clear and obvious error.
Yeah, so the panel have basically went, listen, 4-1 should have been a penalty. Referee should have absolutely blown the whistle. which to me then makes it a clear and obvious error because he should have blown the whistle, yeah?
Yeah.
But they know with that, he gets caught on the wrong side, maintains contact. Both players are holding, but on balance, the action of James, who's the defender, was non-footballing and impactful, which in turn would mean the reason we're saying he should have blown the whistle is because of this. But it unanimously said that the VAR, who's there to turn and say, mate, just to let you know, he's clearly pulling him, you need to go and look at this. They've said that he was right not to step in and tell the referee he made it a clear and obvious error.
So that means that for the key match incident panel to believe that something was clear and obvious, they have to vote 5-0, right? Because they voted 4-1. So
they
clearly,
voted.
That one person was enough to be like, nope, that wasn't clear enough.
No, they voted 4-1 that he should have pointed to the spot. But they then voted unanimously that, despite him getting it wrong, the VAR guy was correct not to say to the referee, yeah, there's an error here, it's a penalty. So that's what we're at. That's a bit what the fuck, isn't it? Anyway, I thought I'd leave you with that because we're getting late and all that sort of stuff.
Yes. Well, and you mentioned Ashley. I just want to give a quick. I hope she's doing well. I don't know if you know, but she's in the hospital right now, having her appendix removed. She managed to do your Good Process show the other night with apparently a ruptured appendix inside of her, which is some dedication to hating on the PGMO.
I feel a little bit responsible for this because she lives in Massachusetts and some of her family live in Florida, and she said, I'm going to Florida because the weather's nicer, so I'm going down there to spend a couple of days or weeks or whatever it is. And I was like, cool, but Florida's mental, you'll be lucky to make it out alive. And I literally said that off the cuff, was only joking, and then I got a text with just a picture of her in a hospital with the band on the arm, basically the patient's band going, yeah, you were right, Florida is trying to kill me. And I was like, oh, and I thought she'd had a fall, and she's like, no, I have to have. She used the word of a procedure, and I was like, right, let's Google that before we write back. Yeah, so I looked her up, and it turns out it's her appendix, so she's having that removed, probably as we speak, to be fair. And so that's Florida, telling you, fucking mad that place.
Yeah, exactly. So, that's just our best wishes going up for Ashley. It's a pretty routine procedure, but anytime you go under the knife, we want to wish her the best and a long recovery. We will be starting a GoFundMe campaign because I believe under American healthcare laws, that's going to cost her $7.8 million to have her appendix taken out.
But you do get entered into a draw to possibly win a ticket for a group game in the World Cup,
which is worth about $7.8 million, I believe, on the ticket resale market.
Yeah, in fairness. Yeah. That's America.
Yeah, the key match incident panel, I would love to get a gig on that. I mean, they may as well just put the key match incident panel in Stockley Park in the VAR room and have them do it real time. You know,
you can't turn around and go,
thumbs up, thumbs down.
That was, we 80% of the people at this table believe that was incorrect. But we all believe that the guy that should have pointed it out, that you should probably come and have a look at this, was right not to tell you that. It makes no fucking sense whatsoever.
That makes absolutely no sense.
Absolutely very much, zero.
Yes. It makes about as much sense as effort as we put into promoting this show. So if you've gotten this far watching it, we very much appreciate it. Hit the thumbs up button. Leave a comment.
And if you think you can get better than Don A for the headbands, put the sweatbands. Yeah, put a comment in.
Does Lecoq Sportif make sweatbands?
Oh, I wish.
Because we could have fun with that.
I wish.
Yeah,
I wish.
No.
But if anyone's watching or listening, and they go, I know a sweatband company, let us know who they are, and we will contact them directly. We're our own unique way of offering sponsorship, where we basically just go, do you know we have 133 subscribers? Did you?
Oh, I'm sorry. 30% growth in 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Just chart that out over 5 years, and we will have, I think, 8 quadrillion subscribers at the current rate of growth that we're going.
Dylan O'Rourke says Dunlop not getting a mention here is insane. I look it up, but it's too big a name. I want something like, Kirsty's sweatbands, and she's made them because she fucking She ended up lost in the desert one time, and she used a sock as a sweatband, and it inspired her to make a sweatband. And now
Yeah.
Kirsty wants to fucking sell them worldwide in case anyone gets caught in the desert. That's what I want. I don't want Nike or thing. Donny, I'm with Dunlop. Yeah, no problem. But if you can think of any other companies out there that make sweatbands that we can contact, just have a look up online if you want, and give us a few, and we'll absolutely contact them. And genuinely, our email does be May 130 subscribers. You know, yeah, we know. Give us a show, and then we just leave it at that. And see, there you go.
Exactly. And if you haven't subscribed already, you could be one of the people that gets us up to 140 subscribers. And
Correct.
that might just be the thing that we need to get this sponsorship deal locked
Yeah.
down. And
Maybe
that's what we're
140
looking
is the magic number.
It is. I mean, it's all we really want to begin with is a couple of sweatbands, and just let us have a little bit of fun advertising your
Yeah.
brand.
Like, honestly, if Donny sent us one sweatband each for our heads and maybe two each
Two for the
for
wrist.
our wrists,
Yeah.
like the amount of exposure we're going to give them for that, you know.
It's
Like,
I've never seen sweatbands advertised, so
No, neither have
obviously this is a unique marketing opportunity,
Neither have
and
I.
I think somebody is eventually going to take a chance on a plucky little sports show with a Canadian and an Irishman talking absolute gibberish about everything there is in the world of sports. But that's enough for a Thursday night, everybody. Gav, anything else before we go?
No, absolutely not.
It's as easy as that.
Between now and next week, we will have another reaction show with the NFL big hits, and then we'll be back here next week to talk more sports. I am going to try crowbar in a refereeing decision from one of the American sports into our show next week. There will be a what the fuck moment, and all the other bits.
Yeah, we'll try to do our best as we can because it's getting to be the busy time of the sporting season. So That's all good. Thanks for joining us, everybody. From Gav, from Matt, have a good week in sport. We'll see you guys next week.